Okay, good day. So, in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you on how to create a PERT CPM chart. But before that, we need to identify and solve and extract the task list that is needed for you to have the PERT CPM for this scenario. So, this is the problem. So, before we proceed at creating the PERT CPM chart, first, let's read the example so that we can visualize the scenario. So, Forest Point construction. At Forest Point construction, your boss says he can estimate the total project time based on his personal experience. You're trying to convince him that he should use project management techniques to handle. To prove your point, you decide to use simple example of a commercial steel building construction project with 8 steps. You can create a hypothetical work breakdown structure as follows. Prepare the site in 3 days and then set the building footers in 3 days. Finish the foundation in 5 days and then assemble the building in 3 days. When the building is assembled, start 2 tasks at once. Finish the interior work in 5 days and set up an appointment for the final building inspection in 15 days. Then next, when the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks at once. Landscaping in 7 days and driveway paving in 3 days. Then when the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting. Finally, when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, arrange the sale in 2 days. So now you ask your boss to review the tasks, estimate the total time, and write the answer on a piece of paper. You look at the paper and see that his guess is wrong. So these are tasks. First is, what is the correct total time? Then number 2, what is the critical path? And number 3, create a PERT CPM chart. So again, for creating PERT CPM chart, we need to list the tasks. Actually, based on the problem, this is easier because it has already indicated the duration and then almost the task is already outlined. But in a real world scenario, as you could see in our lesson, as you could remember that there are times that systems analysts are the ones who will extract the tasks in the document and then he or she is going to estimate the duration by means of the formula for the best case and then the probable case with the weight of times 4 and then we have the worst case and then all sum of these 3 and then divided by 6. So for this problem or for this example, it is already easier for us because again, the tasks are already outlined and at the same time, the duration are already indicated. So let's first create a table so that we can proceed of creating a PERT CPM chart. Okay, so the composition of the labels of the table, so we have the task number. Okay, so we have the task number and then description. And then next is the duration in days. And then last is the predecessor tasks. Okay, so let's get back to the problem again. So the first is, or the first task, actually, you could already also identify how many tasks you will have because of the duration. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you should produce tasks here. We have 10 tasks. And then please label the task as the order in which they appear in the document. So our task number 1 is we have prepare the site in 3 days. So task number 1, prepare the site. Prepare the site. And then the duration is 3 days. Okay, for this example, this is the first task. Do you think it has a predecessor task? Actually, there is none because this is the first task. So let's just put a symbol, a hyphen, or meaning it does not have a predecessor task. So that is our task number 1. Prepare the site. Duration is 3 days and there is no predecessor task for prepare the site. Okay, next is we have then set the building footers, which is 3 days. Okay, that will be task number 2. Set the building footers. Set the building footers. Duration is also 3 days. Okay, let's get back to the problem. What is the relationship of task number 1, prepare the site, and set the building footers? You could see we have end, but we have the word then. So meaning, if there is a keyword then, it means that after preparing the site is finished, then the building footers will be the next task. So, by this statement, we can infer that, or we can analyze that set building footers is the task number 2, and then it is the predecessor task of set the building footers is prepare the site. So, it will be task number 1. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so we're done with task number 1, then task number 2. Okay, task number 3. Okay, based on the problem again. So, based on the problem, finish the foundation in 5 days and then assemble the building. Okay, with regards to finish the foundation, actually there are no keywords that then and then and or anything. But if you will analyze the scenario, prepare the site, and then set the building footers. So you can only do the foundation if you already set the building footers. So the predecessor task for finish the foundation would be the set the building footers. So that will be task number 3. Then finish the foundation. Finish the foundation, and then the duration is 5. And then as I've said for the discussion, its predecessor task would be number 2. Okay. And then the next task, okay, just the same with the first 2, is we have the then keyword, meaning after finishing the foundation, assembling the building is the next. So that will be task number 4. Assemble the building. Assemble the building. Duration is 3. And then the predecessor task is also value 3. Okay. Next, we have, let's get back again to the problem. Okay. When the building is assembled, so when task number 4 is finished, start 2 tasks at once. Finish the interior work in 5 days and set up an appointment for the final building inspection, which is 15 days. So we have for task number 5. Task number 5 is finish the interior work. Duration is 5 days. And then its predecessor, it's indicated that when the building is assembled, meaning after task 4 is finished. So, its predecessor would be task number 4. And then it's also indicated that another task, because it is said here, when the building is assembled, start 2 tasks. 2 tasks at once. So, set up an appointment for the final building inspection. Its also predecessor task would be task number 4. So, task number 6 will be set up an appointment. Set up an appointment for the final building inspection. Duration is the longest of the task, 15 days, and predecessor task is also 4 because of the condition start 2 tasks at once. Okay, that is task number 6. Okay, we're already done with 5 and 6. Okay, task number 7. Okay, let's go back for task number 7. When the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks at once. So, just the same with the previous statement. So, these 2 tasks are the landscaping in 7 days and driveway paving 3 days. Okay, so task number 7, though it's in the text is landscaping, we have, let's put landscape. As you could see for the description, the format of the verb is prepare, set, finish, assemble, finish, set up, landscape without the ing. So, let's make it uniform for all of the verbs. So, landscape takes 7 days. And then, the predecessor task, as it is said, is the interior work is done. So, when the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks. So, interior work is task number 5. So, is task number 5. So, its predecessor would be number 5. And then, for task number 8. So, for task number 8 is we have pave driveway. Okay. Its duration, as it is said, it is 3 days. And then predecessor task, just the previous example or statement, since driveway paving and landscape are concurrent tasks, meaning its predecessor task is also task number 5. So, we're going to put task number 5. Okay, next is we have last 2. So, when the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting. So, this will be task number, okay, landscaping, driveway, task number 9. Task number 9, do the painting. Okay. Do the painting, duration is 2 days. Okay. Okay. Task number 9 is different from the rest. Why? Because as you can analyze the statement, when the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting. Meaning, you can only do the painting if and only if landscaping and driveway are done or is already finished. So, we have 2 predecessor tasks. So, we have, what are those? We have to finish the landscape, task number 7, and at the same time, the paved driveway is already finished, which is task number 8. Okay. Okay, then down for our last task, number 10. So, number 10. Finally, when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, arrange the sale in 2 days. Okay, so that is our task number 10. Arrange the sale. Arrange the sale. Okay, so how many days is this? 2. And then just like the previous statement, we have 2 predecessor tasks. Why? Because it is indicated that when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, when both of them or both of the tasks are finished, we can only arrange the sale. So, we have what is painting is task number 9. Final inspection is task number 6. So, we have 6 and 9. So, this is our task list. Since we already have a task list, it is easier to create the PERT CPM. Okay, so let's use another paper. Actually, this is already a used paper, so let's be green and recycle. Okay. So, let's start. So, we'll expect 10 tasks, so we have 10 task boxes. So, we have, okay, task number 1. Okay, so we have, for task number 1, based on what we have derived, is we have, what? Prepare the site. Okay. Okay, so we have prepare the site. Okay, so we have the format for the task box is start, finish, ID, and then duration. Okay, since this is the first task, automatically its start day is day 1. And then its task ID is number 1. And then, we're only going to derive the finish date if we knew the duration. Okay, the duration is 3. So, how to get the finish day? So, the finish day is 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 minus 1. So, it is day 3. It's like, it's not the usual counting. For this one, we have 1, 2, and 3. So, that's why the finish day is 3. Okay, next is we have set the building footers. So, that will be our task number 2. Okay. Set the building footers. Okay. So, again, start day, finish, ID, and then the duration. Okay. So, this is task number 2. And then the duration is 3. Okay, how about the start day? Since set building footers, its predecessor task is task number 1, so let's create an arrow going to task number 2, meaning after the prepare the site is finished, set building footers is the next. So we have this arrow. So the start day is the next day after the finish day of the prepare the site. So we have the start day must be 4. And then again, how to calculate the finished? We have 4 plus 3, 7 minus 1 is we have 6. Okay. Okay, I think there's no question. Okay, next is we have number 3 or task number 3 is we have finish the foundation. Let's create another box here. Okay, so we have finished the foundation. The foundation. Okay. Finish the foundation. Okay, start, finish, ID, and then duration. Okay, so finish foundation is ID number 3. Duration is 5. Okay, since the predecessor task of finish the foundation is 2, so let's just again create an arrow going to finish the foundation. So the start day of finish the foundation is, we have day 7. And then to get again the finish day is we have 7 plus 5, 12 minus 1 is we have 11. So that will be our finish the foundation for task number 3. Okay, next is we have task number 4. Okay, task number 4, again another box. task box to be exact is we have assemble the building. Okay, we have start, day, finish, ID, and duration again. Okay, assemble the building. So, assemble the building is ID 4. Okay, then duration is 3 days. Okay, what is the start day of task 4? Okay, its predecessor is what? It's task number 3. Since this is the predecessor task, so the finish day is 11, so the start day of assemble the building is 12. And then again, for the finish, 12 plus 3, 15 minus 1 is we have day 14. Okay. Okay, so next, we have task number 5. Another task box. Okay, task number 5 is finish the interior work. Finish the interior work. Okay, start, finish, ID, and duration. Okay. So, task number 5, duration is 5. And then, ID is also 5. Okay, since the predecessor task of task number 5 is task number 4, so create an arrow going to finish the interior work. So, its start day is day 15. And then, to calculate again the finish day, 15 plus 5, 20 minus 1 is we have 19. Okay. Okay, next is we have task number 6. So, task number 6 is, okay. So, task number 6 is set up an appointment for the final building inspection. Duration is 15 and predecessor is 4. Okay. Okay, so we have the longest description and the longest day. So we have set up an appointment. Set up an appointment for the final building inspection. Okay. Okay, we have again the start, the finish, and then the ID, and then the duration. So, since task number 6, of course, is duration is 15, task number 6, and its predecessor is task number 4. So, meaning, an arrow again from task number 4. Okay, just the same since the arrows are coming from the assembled building, the start day of the finish of the interior work is 15. So, the set up an appointment for the final building's inspection start day is also day 15. And then 15 plus 15, 30 minus 1. So, we have 29. Okay. Next is we have task number 7. So, what is task number 7? Is we have landscape. And its predecessor task is task number 5. So, we have, let's create another. Okay, we have landscape. We have the start, finish, ID, and then the duration. Okay. So, landscape. So, its ID number is number 7. Its duration is 7 also. Okay. Okay. The predecessor task is what? Of landscape is 5. So, let's create an arrow going to landscape from task number 5 since that is the predecessor task. So, we have the start day of landscape is what? We have day 20. So, 20 plus 7, we have 27 minus 1, we have 26. That will be our finish day. Okay. And then, next, pave the driveway. Task number 8, duration is 3, and also its predecessor is 5. So, let's create another. The task is pave driveway. Okay, we have pave driveway. Again, start, finish, ID, and then the duration. So, ID is ID number, task number 8. And then the duration for the paved driveway is 3. And then also, since its predecessor task is also number 5, so let's create an arrow coming from task number 5. And then, since it's just the same, so landscape start day is 20 since they have the same predecessor task. So, its also start day is also 20. So, to calculate again the finish day, 20 plus 3, 23 minus 1 is we have 22. Okay. 2 more tasks. Next is we have task number 9 is do the painting. Duration is 2 days. And we have 2 predecessor tasks. We have 7 and 8. Okay. 7 and 8. Let's put it in here. Okay, so we have the task is do the painting. Okay. Before that, okay, do the painting. Okay. We have the start, finish, and then ID, and then the duration. Okay, it's ID number 9, task number 9, duration is 2. Okay, let's write 2. Okay, before we decide for the start day, you could see that it has 2 predecessor tasks. We have 7 and 8. So, 7 and 8. So, for coming from 7 and coming from 8. Okay, how are we going to decide which of them is the start day? So, because if you could only do the painting if landscape and paved driveway is both done rather. So, if we're going to choose the finished day for paved driveway is 22, we cannot do it as day 23 because landscape will finish on day 26. So, actually, what we're going to decide here is you have to consider the longest task or the task that has a longest deadline or a longer deadline. So, meaning, if we're going to decide for what is the day for start, you have to decide for the larger value, which is the finished day for landscape, which is day 26, rather than the paved driveway, which is 22. So, the start day would be day 27. Okay, and then the finish day is 27 plus 2. 29 minus 1 is we have 28. Okay. Okay, last task is we have, what is the last task? Arrange the sale. So we have task number 10, duration is also 2, and its predecessor task is 6 and 9. Okay, so let's have it in here. Okay, so we have arrange the sale. So we have start, finish, ID, and then the duration. Okay, the duration, okay, the ID is 10. The duration is we have 2. So let's write 2. Okay, again, its predecessor task is 6 and 9. We have 6, an arrow coming from 6 and an arrow coming from 9. Okay, again, just like the other or the previous task box, which has 2 predecessor tasks, let's decide which of them. Of course, the higher value is day 20. We have the day 29. So, our start day would be day 30. And then, again, to calculate the finish date, we have 30 plus 2. 32 minus 1 is we have 31. So, this will be our PERT CPM. Okay. But there are, I forgot to put, again, set up building inspection. Okay. Okay, there's no really arrow. I was just confused a little. Okay, so let's go back with the tasks. Okay. We could already answer task number 1. What is the correct total time? So, the answer would be, so, the total time is equal to, or days, the correct total time is 31 days. So, that will be our, for number 1. Okay, what is the critical path? How are we going to get the critical path? Okay. What we're going to do here is we have to identify all the paths here that is available. So, let's start. Let's identify first the first. Okay, so we have number 1. Okay, so we have ID number 1, followed by, we have the arrow. We have to traverse the PERT CPM chart actually. So, we have 2, and then we have 3, and then we have 4. Okay, since 4 has 2 branches, okay, we can select it first here. So, we have 4, and then we have 6, and then we have 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. That is the first path that we identified. Okay, next is we have path number 2. Just the same 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Since we've already traversed this one, so next one is we have 5. Next is, okay, 5 has 2 branches also. Okay, let's make it this first. 5 and then 8. 5, 8, 9, and then 10. Okay, again. So, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. That's the second path. Okay, let's identify the third path. Actually, we can copy from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's already the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then also 5. Again, since we'd already traversed this path, the only remaining path is this one. So we have 5, 7, and then 9, and then 10. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. Okay, what are we going to do with these paths that we have written in here? Okay, what we're going to do here is we have to get the duration and then add it all up. And then the largest the largest of them is the critical path. Okay, let's start with path number 1. Duration of task number 1 is 3. So this is addition, okay, 3. Then task number 2 is also 3. Then task number 3 is 5. Okay, you don't have to be confused. Just look at duration. Okay, then task number 4 is also 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then task 6 is 15. And then task number 10 is 2. And then you're going to add. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 plus 5. 14 plus 5 is 19. 19, 20, 21. Carry 2. So we have 31. So this is our total of the durations of those tasks. So this is task number 1, path number 1. So path number 2, so we have 3, 5, and then 3. And then next is we have, since 5, and then 8 is duration 3, and then 9 is duration 2, and then 10 is duration 2. Okay, let's check again. 3, 3, 5, and then 3, 5, 3, 2, 2. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 plus 5, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so we have 26. And then the last path. So we have again the same for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So task 1 is 3, task 2 is 3, task 3 is 5, task 4 is 3, task 5 is 5, and then 7 is 7, and then 9 is 2, and then we have 2. Okay. So let's add again. Okay, oh, sorry, did not see the answer. So 31, 26. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 at 6 plus 5, 11 plus 3, 14 plus 5, 19, 19 plus 7, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. So, which of them is the largest? Since path number 1 is the largest, so this will be our critical path. Okay. And, as you can see, the total duration of the critical path must be equal to the number of total days. Meaning critical path, it means that this is the maximum time that you're going to do the task. And then if you will exceed the time, so you are already overscheduled. So that's why the critical path, the sum of its total of the duration of the task must be equal to the number of the duration of the project. So what if they're not the same? Meaning, you have a mistake in adding the durations, the total durations, or the problem is your PERT CPM is not correct. So for the critical path, so since this is the critical path as we identified has the largest value, so our critical path would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. So that is our critical path. And as you can notice, it does not necessarily mean that, as you can see for paths number 2 and 3, they have more tasks than task number 1. It does not necessarily mean that the more number of tasks, the greater number that will appear. No, it's always based on the duration. Okay? So, this is the how are we going to get the critical path. So, I hope that you understand our lesson. So, if you do have questions, okay, so again, let's go back with the problem. For number 3 is create a PERT CPM chart. Actually, for me, before you get the correct total time in critical path, you must do first the PERT CPM chart. But anyway, okay, so actually that's the third. But to get it right, you have to create first again the PERT CPM chart before you get the correct the total time and the critical path. So again, so I hope that you would have understand the concepts of PERT CPM chart and getting the critical path and then the total number of days. So please stay tuned for more tutorials, and I will also provide another tutorial with regards to a project management software on how to illustrate the PERT CPM and the Gantt chart. So thank you again for listening, and then always stay tuned with in my channel. So thank you very much and good day.